Hi, gang. This is Jay Brightlow with Grand Welcome, Greater Orlando, and I want to talk to you about two things that I'm getting lots of questions on, and hopefully give you a lot of information. Specifically, we're going to cover what a typical return on investment looks like if you were to invest a significant amount of time and energy in the Champions Gate area, and number two, if you were to further take your money and time and put it into theming a room. I want to help you build a pro forma. And I also want to give a little plug for what we do at Grand Welcome as property managers. We're 15%, no contracts. We really feel like because we have so much data, and you're going to see that today, this video, we find the 15%. You can go and self-manage it, but the income's generally going to be the same, but a whole lot less headaches because we do everything for you from maintenance to cleaning to OTAs, reviews, guest experiences, the whole 9 yards. And we have no contracts. So we really feel like the work that my wife and I do to provide value is above and beyond. And we're going to talk about why in this video to make sure that you get off on the right foot, because where you enter is so important with your return on investment. So what we're looking at is a map of Central Florida. And if you were to fly into MCO, where Champions Gate is. So you fly into Orlando, you jump on the 528, down I-4. And just so you know, this area right now, I'm recording this on March 3rd on a beautiful winter morning. This Champions Gate is a mess right now, but they are totally redoing this, and they're actually going to be opening up I-4. So the mess that is the Champions Gate traffic nightmare is going away quickly. In fact, this little spot here is really close to it. Every time I drive by there, it looks like they're a little bit closer. Let's go ahead and switch to terrain mode, because there's two parts of Champions Gate that you should know. Oh, you know what? I should also show you our 13 and a half areas on our STR map. Let me quickly pull that guy up also, because I think it's important to know exactly where that is. So in our favorite 13 and a half areas, we're looking at the old Champions Gate and the new Champions Gate, number 2 and 4 on the list here. And so old Champions Gate, the nice thing when you purchase is you want to know where you are relative to the Oasis Clubhouse, which is right here. So these spots on Hazard, Belterre, these are really nice areas because they're so easy to get to. We're going to look at some properties on the old as well as some of the new. We're actually going to look at Ocean Course that's up here. Nice and quiet. You're right on the golf course here. It just has a different vibe, a different feel in these areas versus some of the older stuff. They're not good, not bad. They're just different, right? So Ocean Course, just to give you an idea of what we're looking at. This property, I believe it's going to sell around $860. It's okay, right? I don't love the pink, but it's got a nice, modern, clean look to it. Now, just because it looks nice in pictures doesn't actually mean it's nice in person. I'm amazed how many of these I walk into and I'm like, oh my God, this actually feels like a rental that hasn't been loved. Which, by the way, another plug for Grand Welcome. We do an amazing job making sure all of your guests have an amazing experience. This is a loft, and we'll talk more about loft and theming. We just did on our data scrape, we just looked at themed rooms, not themed lofts. Now, this particular house, which is 9-bedroom, has this kind of bonus area. You'll see in one of the photos, they use 3 queen beds in there to really get their occupancy, the amount of people that they can put in. Here's the photo, above and beyond, and taking it to a whole nother level. Again, the theme work here is modern, but it's really like this is not a themed house at all. So when we're looking at the data in a moment on themed rooms, this one does not count. Now, really nice view of the water. Some of the new ones in Veranda Palms do not have these nice water views. In fact, they feel very crowded. In Champions Gate, you get much more space. Now, this garage does not count as themed at all. A long way to go in this particular house to get it to themed. But nice, clean. Here's what the amenities look like. Just a nice, clean area. They've got a really nice, you see, they've got beach volleyball here. They've got a nice clubhouse, gym, kids splash area here. It's a really nice spot. So that's kind of the overview on Champions Gate. This is the 8-bedroom, again, that kind of 9th bedroom area. So it's 8, but it's actually a 9. 9065 Hazard. Same thing with this one. When you look at the photos, there's just nothing done in the garage at all. Nice that you got bikes there. But when you look at these photos, like this one really has no theming at all on it. Hello, wife. So there's the 8. Oops. There's the 9. Here's another 8 on Myrtlewood. And this one, one of our future clients is under contract here. And you'll see when you look at the photos, again, like no real theme work in here at all. This one actually has a little bit more dated feel. When you look on the map, you can see like it's in the quote unquote older area. Now, this one we actually have the revenue projection on, and the revenue projection is right at 95,000 on this one. So there should be a nice return on investment. But you're going to see in a moment why it's possible for it to go above and beyond. Here's another 8. There's a 6 on Stinger. By the way, I love Redfin because it's really easy to just push a button and see exactly where this is. Click on satellite. You're like, oh, well, that's quite close to the Oasis. That's why Redfin is my favorite one for looking at maps. I don't have to look at Google Maps. And again, here's Ronald Reagan. And then here's the road that you have to cross to get into the new Champions Gate. This is the entrance here. Then you kind of come up and around. That's a 6. Here's a 5 on Sliceway. Old themed, like you see Frozen, you know that this was themed a long time ago. It still does well. This is just wallpaper. This probably is less than $5,000, probably closer to $3,000 to theme this room. Wallpaper comes off. We have great wallpaper people. So if you decide to go the inexpensive route and theme room this way, you can. But just know when you look at the data, this isn't considered like an amazingly themed room. Now you get into the townhouses. So here's the 4. Townhouses will never do as well as the single families. They do okay. Again, I'll show you the revenue projections in just a moment, but I want you to get a feel for what this looks like. And then this is just my Redfin map that I kind of used to pull these up. So one more thing that people are going to ask is, where is this relative to Disney? And that's a great question. Let's see. Magic Kingdom. A 25-minute drive. On I-4, you can hit some traffic here, but this is largely your trip. There's a couple ways. There's a couple ways to get there. Animal Kingdom is over here, so a little bit closer to Animal Kingdom. But this is what you're looking at, a little closer to Epcot. But, you know, just plan for 30 minutes, right? Give or take a little bit. So let's get to the projections. These are in no specific order. So a 7-bedroom generally runs you on a spend of 75 to 85K. By the way, if you want any of these projections, just send me an email, j.brightlow@grandwelcome.com. And what we're looking at is we create this PDF from an Excel spreadsheet file. We usually send these off in pairs. The important thing to note is that you got really nice occupancy in Champions Gate January and February. You don't always see that in the Disney area. You will always see a dip in September. May, June, July is always really nice. That's just kind of the same all the way through. But you get nice consistency in Champions Gate. On the 8, you're looking at 85 to 95K. On the 4-3, so this is a 4-3 that is a single family. A little bit less on the duplexes / townhouses. But a significant jump down when you go to the 4s, and not the demand. People ask all the time, well, what's going to get you my greatest occupancy? The more bedrooms, the fuller it stays. The more likely it is that you can travel with 3-4 people and spend a lot more money, or collect a lot more money for your rental, but people are spending less money. Also going to get a higher level of consciousness generally when people spend more on their vacation, right than the lower. Nice occupancy percentage all the way across. Again, big dip in August, September, October. And we can talk more in another video about how we leverage that to work for you. Here's the 9. 95 to 110. So really nice jump. This one, the occupancy percentage wasn't great, but your ADR is really nice. You're not seeing the ADR on here. You do see that on the Excel file. How do you get the occupancy percentage up? You create a demand. And we're going to talk about the theming in just a moment. Here's the 6. I just want to get you some data. 6, generally 62 to 72. Now, this doesn't mean that these are conservative numbers. So 62 to 72. This includes like owner stays. So owner stays are going to be a 0. Friends and family stays, those are going to be a 0. So when you look at these numbers, I usually say take the top number, and that's kind of your place to start. We always want to be conservative with the numbers we give you. We can't help but feel like we're responsible for building out your pro forma. We're not responsible. This is just what the data says. So here they are in a nutshell. The 4, look at the dip down from the 6 to the 4. There's your 7, 8, and 9. And remember, your 8s can perform like a 9 when they have that bonus room on the new Champions Gate side. So I'll stay there for just a moment. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? And again, just to cover one more time what we're talking about with new and old Champions Gate. The newer part is the north part. The older part you can see more established. And then here's the Windsor Island. Windsor Palms that's being built in here also. So lots of new construction being built in here. And again, as the infrastructure improves on Ronald Reagan and on this little spot here, coming off I-4, it's going to get even better. So so those numbers at vacuum, if you're looking at the price points, specifically at the lower ones, that's not a great return. A 4-bedroom that you're $450 out for, and the return before was saying 47. Like, that's not a great investment. So how do you, especially when you're looking at those 4s, your occupancy percentage is just really low in here. So how do you build up the demand? And so that's where John, who's our data guy, went and did a deep dive on themed work. So I'm not sure if you guys can see this. I can zoom it a little bit and make it bigger. But John went and dived into tons of, let me show you what a theme room looks like before we get too far into this, so you can understand really like what we're looking at. This is a random Airbnb scrape file. What we can do is, because we have so much data, we pull this particular number, because it has a number, we geolocate it, and we find out exactly what it's creating. Now this is this is a themed house. This is really what we're looking for. Harry Potter room. Like, you can see how much better it looks when you just do simple things like add $100 in wood to the ceiling. There's a game room. So this would be that upstairs bonus room that somebody turned into the queen beds. This is one that got turned into a game room. But just really nice finishes here. Hulk. That's the garage, backyard. Projector. Why not? Because we're in Orlando. Clean, modern. Nothing special in here. It kind of looks like the other ones. But you really get an idea for how well it's themed in those 2 rooms. Oops, you could see the Star Wars room in the back of that photo. So this one doesn't have like amazingly themed bedrooms. This is a really cheap way to theme a room. It looks nice in photos. When you're there in person, it doesn't feel as nice, but it photographs well, which is really what drives these results. That's a cool little $100 thing to put there. Again, nothing special about that, but it's got a nice clean look to it. There's your Harry Potter room. And there's your movie room. So this movie room probably would run, I would say, about 40 grand. You can see they added additional really nice piece that's going to help you as a homeowner with the AC. What is that called? The split? The mini split. Thank you. And so that will make their experience better, but also you don't have to keep this door open and cool your whole house just to get this room cooled off in the summer. And there's that upstairs loft. Really cool bonus room. Not sure why you need to party upstairs and down. I'm generally an advocate for just really hammering a bedroom or 2. And then the garage. This one did both. It just depends on which, think about it. Like, what would you want to live in? But that's the themed room. So anyway, back to the data. John pulled these Airbnb listings, and he figured out what they're doing in terms of occupancy percentage. Looks like there was probably they were doing construction in August on these 2. He's getting ADR, nights booked, average. So an average on that one in December, almost $1,100. April, $1,100. Here's a smaller house here, $599 for. But you see where the data is coming from. Oh, I can just click through on this one, actually. I'll show you some more theme rooms. You can skip this part if it feels long. 16, oh, that is the same one. Let's see if we can pull this one. There we go. Again, really nice themed room. Not sure who this particular designer is. We've got a couple designers we use, but really nice. The Harry Potter room, the bed. I will say we're doing a Grogu bed in one of our houses right now. Pretty cool to be waking up under a dragon. There's a little bit of a Harry Potter look to it. But that's what I mean, like a really cool themed room. And you didn't necessarily need to do much in the garage. This is an inexpensively themed garage. Inexpensive stuff outside that really makes it pop. A little bonus room for the kids. And then check out the living room. It's quite cool. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the loft. And there's your living room. And really cool stairs. We're doing an Encanto staircase in a house right now. Again, all depends on what you want to do. But this is what we're talking about with a properly themed house when you look at the return. So John did this on a 9, an 8, and then an emerald green, this little 6-bedroom. And so here's the summary of this. The summary is when you look at the peers, Champions Gate 8, 58,000, your total return is almost double, right? So 58 to 113. Your ADR is significantly better. Your occupancy is considerably better. Now this one, if you remember, on the 9, there was some occupancy issues. Like it looked like August was at 0. So this occupancy is probably even closer to 80 or 90%. But again, your return on investment is significant here. And then look at this one. This is so on the STR map. Let's see if I'll pull this back up. What we're looking at is Emerald Island. You call it Emerald Green, but Emerald Island. A lot of these houses are dated in here, but the numbers are still really good. So for another 6 doing 40K, you're talking about 264% return on your investment. Your ADR is significantly improved. Your occupancy is better. And your guest experience, you're just going to attract a higher level of consciousness guests. So your maintenance is going to be considerably better also. Again, we can break this down for you. John's just a wizard at pulling the data. And if you would like to get a peek at this, I'm happy to provide this for you. So again, all these are 2 of these were coming out of here. One of them was coming out of Emerald Island up here. I hope this was helpful. None of these questions, like where's my best cash on cash return? How do I, which one of these areas is the best? Which one do you love? Look, where do you want to come visit? Where do you want to stay? What sort of experience do you want to have when you come to Orlando, when you come here for yourself? Because you should come here for yourself. Personally, for me, I really like Solterra. I really like Windsor Westside. I like Paradise Palms. Some of the issues with Paradise Palms, just as we're talking about themed rooms, is there are only single garages and townhomes there. So you're really limited by how much, and we actually did a data scrape on the Paradise Palm. It can do 100% of what its peers are doing in the area. Part of the benefit of Paradise Palms is its proximity to Disney. It's so close, as is Windsor Westside, right? It's just so close, right up 192, and then you're there. I'm sorry, right up and over 192, and then you're there. Windsor Hills, it's a really, really nice, clean area. Margaritaville. So let's talk about one other thing. Margaritaville's not in here. Reunion's not in here, and the Encore resorts are not on here. The reason why is that it's, to me, like the data doesn't support investing in those areas, and we've ran the data. You get less bedrooms and you pay more money. There's lots more HOA fees and taxes, and you're also at the whim of their property management, so that's going to eat into your profits also. You can do your own property management, but Margaritaville, Encore, Reunion, they don't let your guest use their giant water slides and the Fins Up Club in Margaritaville. They just don't let you use them. So we don't put them on here. Now that being said, the projections are great, but there's that additional piece that you have to know. The Margaritaville ones that have their own pools do awesome. The ones that don't, it's a little bit more of an uphill struggle for us And there's certain tips and tricks that we have for connecting with the guests and selling these that makes it for a great experience. Because the concern is like, look, if I'm with Grand Welcome and Margaritaville, how do I, ensure that my guests have a great experience? And we've got some tips and tricks and some things that we do to address every guest experience so that they've got the most optimal results. I hope this is helpful. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know if there's anything else we can do. Have a great day, gang.